What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. Like the great Vin Scully said, in the history of the Brooklyn and Los Angeles Dodgers, nothing has ever come easy, and either will the NLDS, because the Dodgers are now firmly in a dogfight with the Padres. Of course, they're going to do things the hard way. They had opportunities tonight. The offense was putrid in the clutch. 2 games, 19 runners left on base. LA 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight. They just couldn't get the big hit. We're going to break it all down. Kershaw, he did not have his best stuff at all. It was still a gutsy, grinded out performance. The fact they even got 5 innings out of Kershaw, based on how he looked at times, I think, was impressive and a testament to his grit and competitive fire. But still, the Dodgers did not do enough tonight. We'll talk about sending Austin Barnes to the plate late. Was that the right decision? My question is, what is the status of Chris Taylor's health? Because if he's not healthy enough, he doesn't belong on this roster. If he isn't a guy you can trust to go up there and put together a better at-bat than Austin Barnes did there. And yeah, Austin Barnes was kind of on that ball, but he did miss it. But yeah, we're going to break it all down from top to bottom. There's so much to get into. Lots of drama, lots of excitement in this game. But look, the bottom line, the Dodgers, they're having issues manufacturing runs. They're just not able to put together runs tonight. 3 runs tonight, they all came via the home run ball. Another home run from Trey Turner, that was great, but some bad defense from Trey Turner tonight. You saw him just make the error. You saw him just not play that crisp defense, and it really didn't cost him the second time, but it cost him the first time. We're going to break it all down. The defense wasn't there, and you had the home run from Freeman to set it off, to tie things up there in the first. You had the home run from Max Muncy, but all in all, not getting enough offense from this team. 3 runs tonight, all via the home run ball, and no runs after the third inning during this series. So, yeah, you look at both games, Dodgers just not cashing in on base runners, and we're going to break it all down. Mookie Betts, he hit that double tonight, but he didn't come through in some big spots. We're going to break it all down, guys. Here we go. We got Mr. Classic. Even before this game, I was worried about Kershaw from Mr. Classic. We got Why Don't We Bunt? Every other manager has done it in these playoffs. That's from Jose Rod 05. Yeah, there were certain situations where maybe you do lay that bunt down. I think when you talk about the at-bat with Trey Turner, where second pitch, Trey Turner, he ends up hitting that ground ball to Manny Machado. That was a perfect situation, but I mean this team wins through slugging. I mean, you're not going to see bunts in those situations, but yeah, we'll get into it. But yeah, with the situation there where the Dodgers just not being able to get those big hits, not able to really just generate legitimate offense other than the home run balls. And I think that has been really one of the big issues. And really, the Dodgers, they took some punches in the mouth tonight, and they didn't respond at certain times. And yeah, give credit to this Padres offense. They were relentless, getting to Clayton Kershaw, working that pitch count up, and Manny Machado, he put a good swing on one to get them on top early on. But yeah, we have a lot to get into on this one, guys. But let's start with some of your takes. I want to make sure I get a lot of your takes here, and then I'll tell you where I'm at with this series and what the Dodgers need to do. I tried to will and manifest a sweep. I said on the preview show, my heart says a sweep, but my brain says a 5-game series, because this Padres team, was designed and built and constructed to compete with this Dodgers team, and they're doing just that. Even last night, the Dodgers didn't play their best. They go 0 for 17 against the Padres bullpen, and tonight, yeah, the Dodgers, what more can you say? The offense just did not get that big hit. We're going to go inning by inning in a second. But here, words of encouragement, please, Doug. That's from Vibey. Words of encouragement are, this team is still in a position where we know they can go to San Diego and win. They're going to have to get to Blake Snell. They're going to have to hope that, look, Blake Snell in his last start, he didn't have the command. It was a short outing for him. But also, we saw what he did to the Dodgers in Game 6 of the 2020 World Series. Blake Snell has had success against his Dodgers team, and we'll get there for sure. But we will break this entire game down. No small ball outs from pound for pound. No clutch hitting. WTF. Yeah, there was opportunity after opportunity tonight. D-Mac, do you think Cody Bellinger should have hit in the 8th? That's my first question to you guys. Let's discuss that one right off the bat. Do you think that Cody Bellinger should have been sent up there in the 8th inning? Because, yes, Cody Bellinger has struggled against left-handed pitching. Make no mistake about it. But also, he does have a home run against Josh Hader in his career. You also lose his defense in that spot. And Austin Barnes is a guy that has played much better down the stretch. He's improved significantly at the plate, but that situation, I still think Cody Bellinger, you want to get that platoon advantage, and it was pretty obvious what Doc was going to do there, but in that situation, you don't have the best options coming off the bench, and the odds of Austin Barnes going up there and getting a base hit against Hader are unlikely with that approach. And the first pitch he fouled it off. It was an elevated fastball. The second one, he flies out to center. I think the question I have is, if you're looking for a guy that against a lefty, Hanser Alberto is supposed to be good against lefties, and Hanser Alberto wasn't as good against lefties this season as we had hoped, but you leave him off the roster and you have Chris Taylor on the roster only to not use him in that spot. I was thinking that, okay, for sure we're going to get at bat from CT3, cold off the bench. Yes, high velocity. Yes, that's a tall order if Hader's on, but still, what is his role if he's not going to be used in that situation? I didn't feel very confident with Austin Barnes up there, but what are your takes on that one? It's a wake-up call for sure. That's from Anthony Keene. Yeah, I think this team just expects to win. You think with your 111 win season that you're just going to win and the Padres are just going to roll over because you had taken 15 out of 20 against them. You have dominated them. No, this is a Padres team that truly believes they can win. This team is a win-now team, so I think with this Dodgers team, is it a wake-up call? Yeah, but if you need this to be a wake-up call, are you a championship team in the first place? That would be my question. A 111-win team, like I said, failure is not an option in this series. Here's what's at stake. The Dodgers lose this series to the San Diego Padres. You can't call them little brother ever again. You got to retire the little brother thing. If they beat the Dodgers team that has a franchise record, 111 wins, a team that was the favorite to win the World Series, the Padres win that, I don't want to hear any little brother talk. Let me just put that out there right now, because this Dodger team, they need to step up, because there's a lot of things I didn't like about this game. I didn't like Trinan in that spot. Blake Trinan, the stuff there, Cronenworth, he absolutely crushed that one. And the bottom of the order continues to struggle for the Dodgers. But let's look at some of these opportunities for LA and talk about Clayton Kershaw's outing too, because Kershaw could have served up even more runs than he did in this outing. And Kersh did not have his best stuff tonight, and you were hoping for a better outing from Kersh when you consider the fact that since he returned from the injury, he was pitching very well. He was pitching very confident, and he looked healthy physically. But tonight, he just didn't have the feel for that slider. There were a couple times tonight where it appeared that, maybe he does have the feel for the slider, but the strikeout to Grisham, the strikeout to Nola. But other than that, he was laboring out there. And that one thing I was discussing in the previous couple of days was, hey, how about, we know that Will Smith gives him a better opportunity to hit. We know that Will Smith is one of the best hitters in the league, the best hitting catcher in the league. But Austin Barnes, the pivotal role he played behind the dish as a game caller, as a guy that made pitchers feel comfortable, did you lose Austin Barnes' catching ability, his defensive ability tonight? That's a question I have. It's a toss-up from here. What did I say a few days ago? You lose game 2, you lose one of these first 2 home games, it's a coin flip series. Belly looks terrible. Hey, Belly was able to get a hit late in this game that helped spark that rally. I mean, if the 7th inning, the Dodgers. We'll go through this in a second, but I want to read here. There we got Dodgers Basura from Steven. Okay, enjoy your win. Don't you have a parade to attend? Okay, your first postseason win in a 162 game season since 1900 or something, 1906, 2006, whatever it is. Trayce Thompson needs to be benched. That's from Nando 390. Yeah, Trayce Thompson, I thought, against Hader, I thought that was a pretty impressive at-bat. The fact that he was able to come back and draw that walk there. But, Trayce Thompson not doing too much for the Dodgers at the plate. But the thing is, if Trayce Thompson isn't going to play, you got a lefty going next, Joey Gallo. You're not going to start him. Is Chris Taylor even right? Can he even start? Would you choose to go with Miguel Vargas over Trayce Thompson? So I think that we don't truly know the whole story as far as who's limited right now. So but Trayce Thompson, make no mistake about it, he hasn't looked great this series. He looks outmatched at times at the plate, but it was nice to see him draw that walk there. But the issue with this game in particular is, yes, Kershaw did not have his best outing, and we'll get into that in just a second. We'll break that all down. But the offense. They are to blame for tonight's loss. The offense had opportunity after opportunity. They had more traffic on the bases than the 405 freeway at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday, okay? This team needs to put together rallies. You can't rely on the home run ball every single time. And the Dodgers, they did that tonight. 3 runs tonight, all via the home run ball, but just not enough offense. But here we go. We got don't put JT in anymore from Gilbert Ruiz. We got... Go down to the fresh ones. We got offense was so sloppy. Sorry. We don't have enough starting pitching. Joe Durango, hey, you're preaching to the choir. I was the one guy who said the Dodgers need more starting pitching. Everyone's like, oh, this roster's fine. They're okay. They have enough starting pitching. Okay. EP leaving 10 on base with no runs scored. You can't win like that. Matt, Mookie pop up with 1 strike every time. Yeah, the at-bat quality from Mookie Betts has just been downright awful at times in this series. Yesterday, you saw... Even the first at-bat, it wasn't the worst at-bat. A 2-2 count. He took strike 3 looking on that cutter away. And, yeah, he he was able to get that double late in the game that went under the glove of Trent Grisham. But, yeah, I mean, that's a play where, he was able to get that double in that situation. But for the most part, Mookie Betts needs to step up. You saw in the last inning there, just a pop-up into shallow left field. That's just not going to get it done. We got Lux hit into the double play. That's from Craig Osterberg. Mookie overrated. He's too worried about bowling from Dave Zander. TKO Trey caused the turning point. Yeah, so let's get right into it. So We'll start at the top. We'll start this. Well, let's get His comments are going too fast. So we got Mookie smiles too much and strikes out. Looking Alex. We got Mookie. Mookie's still bowling. FS1 ball washing the Padres from P Daddy 7. Does Lux know how to bunt? That's from Scott Schaefer. Mr. Classic Padres learn to win from the Mets. Mike M. Dodgers didn't get clutch hits. That's it. Yeah, I mean you can go down the list tonight of the opportunities the Dodgers had. You can start with the 4th inning. They had runners on first and second with 1 out after the JT walk followed by a Gavin Lux single. Trace Thompson, he strikes out swinging 3 straight sliders. The next batter, Cody Bellinger, he goes down swinging on 4 pitches. So that's the first opportunity. Then you jump to the bottom of the 5th. Mookie Betts draws that leadoff walk, and then he's caught stealing. Yes, it was a perfect throw, but he gets caught stealing. And then jump to the bottom of the 6th. Will Smith singles to start the inning. Max Muncy singles to deep right. Didn't make it to second there. That's what I was looking at because Max Muncy wasn't able to get to second base on that, so that sets the Dodgers up with runners on first and third, and I was hoping, hey, you get to second, you take out that double play, and then Smith, and then Dodgers had runners on first and second, no outs, and out goes Darvish, in comes Suarez, so the Dodgers, their first look at one of their big high-leverage pieces, let's see how they perform, and next batter, JT, he looked totally outmatched. Justin Turner looked outmatched in that at bat, and he should have struck out on the pitch prior, but still he ends up swinging and missing on that 101-mile-per-hour fastball for the first out, and then Gavin Lux, first pitch grounded into a double play. Bad approach there by Gavin Lux. I did not like that at bat. That's the poor at bat quality I'm talking about. In that situation, 1 out, runners on the corners, the state of that game. 5-3 game or 4-3 game, you're in a situation there where you have to put a better approach together. Take a couple pitches, get yourself into a hitter's count. But no, first pitch aggressive on the changeup. He grounds into that double play. A great turn there by Kim. It was a nice job by Cronenworth. So yeah, it was the baseball gods giveth yesterday with that big 4-6-3 double play in the 6th, and then they also giveth to the Padres today with a game-saving 4-6-3 double play in the 6th. But Suarez was dishing. That's from Alex Renteria. We got Dodgers. Offense looked like the Padres tonight. It's from Brittany Matlock. Dylan Hare, they can def afford to take a pitch or two in those situations. Gary A. People say Lux can be the future shortstop. A clown emoji from Gary A. By the way, I'm looking for that comment of the night. If I see that, you're going to see one of these. If you bring a fire take, you're going to see one of these. Tony Gonsolin announced as the starter for Game 3. Thank you for that. Luis, I agree. Yup, choke fest from Neil. Dodgers, Basur. We got this is embarrassing. Kershaw. Oh, this is embarrassing. Kershaw's my boy, but tonight, damn, bro, WTF. Yeah, we'll get into so Kershaw was not at his best tonight. And I think you wanted a really solid start from Clayton Kershaw just to start the postseason off right. He had looked amazing lately. The way he had looked lately in his last start, the 9 punch-outs against the Rockies, like I said, a 1.54 ERA, so much success against the Padres throughout his career. But tonight, you saw how it started off. He gets Kim to ground to short for the first out, Soto fly to second, and then 2-1 pitch to Manny Machado. He homers to left to give the Padres a 1-0 lead. That was just a straight-up meatball pitch. That was a cement mixer meatball there by Clayton Kershaw. Manny Machado put a good swing on it, and it puts the Padres on top by a score of 1-0. So that was his fourth home run of his career against Kersh. Need to score more with runners on. Yeah, 0 for 8 with runner in scoring position tonight. 2 games combined, they've left 19 runners on base. Like the great Aaron Rodgers says, RELAX. You can tell this team is seriously not worried. Don't be surprised if they sweep the next 2 games. Daniel, nothing would surprise me with the Dodgers. You could see as we've seen what happened in 2020 where they came back down 3-1 against the Braves. You also saw what happened in 2019 when they lost at home against the Nationals. You never know what you're going to see with this Dodgers team. Kersh let me down. I wanted him to dominate. Yeah, so he comes back after giving up that home run to Machado. 3-2 pitch to Drury. He gets him looking at strike 3 for the 3rd out of the inning. Nice 4-seam fastball. But yeah, that home run ball to Machado. You'll live with the solo shot from Clayton Kershaw, and it was a small miracle that he ended up pitching 5 innings. But here we go, Padres beta. Too many left on base from Careless Whisper. We got Neal. They need to pitch Machado under his chin going forward. Offense, defense, the Dodgers sucks from Isabel. These announcers were Padres homers from Jim. Do you guys think the announcers were Padres homers? It does feel like that. It does feel like they're trying to buy into this big story, this David versus Goliath theme they're trying to build. But who cares, man? I don't even listen to these guys. They can't tell me anything. I don't know about the Dodgers anyway. I listen to Rick Monday and Charlie Steiner on the radio. It's much more entertaining. I would definitely highly recommend that. Rick Monday's the man. Leaving 10 on base will never get it done. That's from Steve. You got Pizza McGee. Maybe MLB told Roberts to lose to get more games, to get more revenue. Pizza, I don't think that was the case. Why didn't Barnes catch today? Oscar Prince. I mean, the idea was you put your best hitting lineup together, and Will Smith was behind the dish. But, yeah, so you look at you jump to, the bottom of the first. It was nice to see Freddie Freeman, 3-1 count. Freddie Freeman, he crushed a bomb to center to tie things up at 1. Hanging cutter, that tied things. Then top of the second, Kershaw gives himself some more trouble. I mean, Cronenworth flies to left for the first out, then a 1-1 pitch to Myers. He singles to right on the curve. Then 0-2 pitch Profar. He singles to center to give the Padres runners on first and second. And he did a nice job getting himself out of this jam. He throws that wild pitch, and Profar and Myers and Profar advance to second and third on the play, and he ends up getting himself out of this jam. He fell behind 3-1 to Kersh, and he comes back, loads the count full, strikes him out with that filthy slider for the second out, and then with 2 outs and runners on second and third, he strikes out Nola with the slider to get out of the jam. So at that point, I was starting to feel better about the fact that he did find the feel for that slide piece, but it wasn't. It proved to be still shaky after that. But here we go. We got Turner managed to lock up and lose his contract in the same night. That is from Boob Nightingale. We're uncomfortable at Petco Park. We're comfortable at Petco Park. That's from Matt Quintana. Yeah, the Dodgers aren't going to be rattled by this. They're going to have to go out there, regroup, and just regroup at the plate and put themselves in a better position. And I think when they watch the tape, when they review everything, they're going to see tonight that they were a little too aggressive in some of these situations where they had an opportunity to put up some runs. We talked about Gavin Lux, first pitch, changeup. He puts it in play, he hits into a double play, and you end the inning there on a first and third with 1 out. And we'll talk about some more of these opportunities. Will D-Mac, Alex Renteria. Will Smith missed a huge opportunity to deliver with the bases loaded. That was the game right there. We'll talk about that too as well. What's up, D-Mac? Sending you that LA 213 love. How we feeling, Dodger Nation? That's from Dodger Babe. Yeah, we'll be fine. Let's just break this all down, then we'll get back to looking at the Michelada half full. But then you look at that bottom of the second, Max Muncy down 0-2, and Dodgers got some breaks tonight. Let's be honest. Max Muncy down 0-2 in the count. He takes a 69-mile-per-hour breaking ball from Yu Darvish, and it was clearly a strike. It should have been strike 3. And then Muncy, he takes advantage of the second chance. He ends up fouling off 2 straight pitches, takes a ball to make it a 2-2 count. Then on the 7th pitch of the at-bat, Muncy homers to center to put the Dodgers up 2-1. So another home run by the Dodgers. Max Muncy goes deep, and you're starting to feel good about that. But the Dodgers, another missed opportunity there in the second inning. JT, he singled to right. Then Lux, he strikes out swinging, four-seam fastball. Thompson, he goes down swinging, four-seam fastball. Bellinger, he goes down swinging on a four-seam fastball. So 3 straight strikeouts with JT on first. Then you jump to the top of the third. We'll break that down as well. But what are your thoughts, guys, on your freak out factor? On your freak out factor, 10 being the most freaked out, 1 being the least freak out. What is your freak out factor at right now for the Dodgers in this series? On a scale of 1 to 10, is it time to push that panic button? Let me know down below. Dodgers are toes from Joe Gonzalez. This is why we need Joe Davis announcing shockwave games. I like that one. Blake Snell. We got Payne, too many chances to score and couldn't get it done. We got who starts at left on Friday. Matthew, $4.99. Appreciate that super chat. We got, would this be, I'll just screenshot this. I can see it. Would this be worse? Lost your comment. 1 second. Would this be worse, Dodger postseason loss if the Padres win this series? Would this be the worst? It would definitely be up there for sure. 10 from Jared. We got 2 from Boomer Assassin. We got 7 from Joe Dev. A 4 from Armando Moreno. We got 10 from T3P. 6 from Joe Gonzalez. A 6 from Michael Carrillo. We got Mookie attempted to steal second. Base pissed me off. LMAO, that's from Navim. Yeah, it was just a really good throw. You got to give him credit on that throw there. But SD bullpen is that good. That's from Brian Kim. Look, the back end of their bullpen, I mean, the Dodgers are definitely making them look better than they really are. But you saw tonight the Dodgers got their first look at some of their high leverage guys. Suarez, I thought Martinez, they got a hit off of him. They got a hit off of Hader there with Freddie Freeman. But, yeah, I mean, the Dodgers just not doing enough, not putting enough pressure on, and it's uncharacteristic, too, from this offense that's known to work that pitch count up. Gary A says 3, as this is your freak-out factor on a scale of 1 to 10. Jenny Vega says 7. Marcelo says 8. Sergio says 3. Over on YouTube, J Moles 83 says 5. We got to 199 Super Chat. I have a hard time pinch hitting for Belly. Lame. Yeah, you just never know. Yes, of course, you play the lefty, righty, the platoon splits and this and that. But still, it's Cody Bellinger, and sometimes what he does at the plate in big spots is unexplainable. So when it seems unlikely, and Josh Hader, he homered off Hader in Milwaukee a few years ago. But worse than 2019 if we lose to the Nationals? Oh, no question about it. It'd be worse because, I mean, that Nationals team went on to win the World Series. But the Padres won't win again from Andrew G. Choke Fest from Ivan, negative FX4. Thomas, errors from Trey, and an unhealthy CT3 stands out for me. It's over from Pizza McGee. Dodgers bats wake the hell up. Okay, so let's jump to, we got Snell's very tough on Mookie. That's what Rusty Snail says. Yo, shout out El Monte. I'll shout out El Monte. What up, El Monte? How about Good Night Los Angeles from Matt? We got 10 from Juan Ma. That's your freak out factor. 1 from Ryan Orion Montez. This is nothing to really fear at all, especially with us winning last night. Yeah, but you do put yourself in a spot where the Padres, they've reset their rotation. They still got some length out of Yu Darvish, and even though the Dodgers were able to get home runs off him, they still got some length from him. And the bottom line is, if this team doesn't turn around with runners in scoring position and start performing better in the clutch, they're not going to advance in this series, and that has been the issue. I mean, we'll continue to break it down, but we've already gone through so many examples of situations where the Dodgers had opportunities early in innings with no outs, runners in scoring position, and just not put themselves in a position to score more runs and just get that big hit. But easy on Kershaw, that error and a couple of hits after the third freaking inning, and you'd be singing a different tune. Yeah, I think Kershaw, you don't hear me going that hard on Kershaw. I think that Kershaw didn't have his best stuff, still grinded his way through 5 innings. allowed 3 runs. That still gives you a chance to win. And when you're this Dodgers offense that has led Major League Baseball in pretty much every single statistical category you want to lead in, they were first in the league at 278 with runners in scoring position heading into this one. You would feel good about the fact that you could score some runs, but let's not forget Darvish is a horse as well. When Darvish is on, if you look at his pitch mix, if you look at his pure stuff, he is nasty. And once he settles down, he's able to go and pitch to go deeper into games, and he's able to not get rattled during big spots. I mean, he shook off that Muncy home run even though he should have had the strike 3. I mean, he's a workhorse out there, but Kershaw always pitches better when Barnes is behind the plate. They both have a great connection when calling pitchers. Yeah, I brought up that point, and a lot of people thinking that, hey, it's meaningless because Will Smith. Because look, you could still, of course, you could put Will Smith at DH. You could have a situation where if you want Muncy in the game, you sit Lux and you have JT at third, or you have Muncy at third, you have Gavin Lux at second, you sit JT. I mean, sometimes you got to make some tough decisions, but I think that for me, if whatever puts it, and if you look at the numbers too, Kershaw pitched well with Will Smith behind the plate, a 2.11 ERA in 9 starts, and with Austin Barnes was 13 starts at around 230, just a very minimal difference. But yeah, it's very different in the postseason. But the bottom line is, what would Austin Barnes behind the plate do about Kershaw not having the feel for his slider, not having his best stuff? But here we go, a couple more comments, and we will keep breaking down this game. I want to talk about Kershaw's inning there in the third. I want to talk about this offense late in the game. I want to talk about Blake Trinan. I want to talk about the decision to pinch hit more. I want to talk about the rally goose, a -10, so you're very confident. That's from Andrew G. We've got they don't play small ball. We got a 5 from Pete Cortez. Armando Trey should sit in favor of CT3 if healthy from Boomer Assassin. Kershaw never has his best stuff when it matters. If you look at his ERA, a 4.19 postseason ERA. Good starts, bad starts today. I would say it was a rocky start that he gutted his way through. New here, what a weak performance by the offense. Let's go Dodgers. That's from FJ Lopez. Let's go Dodger Stadium South. The Trace experiment is over. Yes or no question, is the Trace Thompson experiment over in your opinion? He did draw that walk, but still no hits for Trace Thompson. That swing is looking pretty long at the plate. It doesn't look, I mean, he's fouling off some pitches, but it doesn't appear that he's in a great spot. And that was one of my big questions heading into this series. Can he translate what he did in the regular season, where it was a Cinderella story and the whole cash considerations narrative? Could he recreate that in the postseason? So far, the answer is no. Padres humble y'all tonight. That's from Mac. We got, you should have put Vargas on the roster. You should have put Vargas in the roster from Los Angeles. He is on the roster. They just didn't use him. Trinan is a no-go from Alex. Don't sit Lux. He's the one hitting. I'm not saying they should have sit Lux. I'm just saying there's other things the Dodgers could have done if they wanted Austin Barnes behind the plate with Clayton Kershaw in the mound. Gallo in. Too many players left off base. So, yeah, top of the third inning, the Dodgers, it was 1-2, ends up being so Kershaw was up 1-2 in the count, ends up being a 9-pitch at bat, and then Kim reaches on that infield single to third. Almost felt like a swinging bunt. Muncy charged it, and he tried to barehand it, and he wouldn't have gotten him at first no matter what, but Kim reaches. And then Soto, first pitch, he singles to left, and it looked like it was going to be an easy first to third for San Diego, but Betts, he makes an excellent throw to keep it at first and second. So they were aggressive against Kersh early in the count, and there's an example there. First pitch swinging, Soto was ambushing. And we got Traces done. We got no need to panic a 0 from Dodgers. Everything over on YouTube. Steve Schmidt. Realistically, we were never going to sweep Steve Schmidt. I mean, if this offense executes tonight, I mean, they fell off a cliff. There was definitely a universe where this team could have swept. They had multiple opportunities at home to generate more runs, and it was definitely in the cards if you consider the advantage the Dodgers had with not having to play a wild card round. But yeah, I do agree with you. The Padres are a good team with a lot of talent. But you seem real worried, D-Mac. You're scaring me. 199 US. I'm not really. To me, it's. I'm not worried. I mean, worried. To me, I'm just ready for the outcomes of whatever happens. I've rode the highs in sports, some lows of my teams. I'm just happy to get to cover this team because they always give you something to talk about. Let's just put it that way. And we all know they never make it easy. But we got Dave Roberts. You got to learn to fight back. That's what I said earlier. I mean, they took a punch and in this game, and they had multiple opportunities to come through in the clutch, and they just didn't. But we got Trayce can't see the ball well. I mean, look, there's a lot of focus on Trayce Thompson, but, I mean, you should be talking more about Mookie Betts than you are Trayce Thompson down below. And Mookie did get that double. We should be talking about the other parts of that order and the fact the Dodgers just weren't able to come through in the clutch. But so Soto, first pitch, he reaches, and like I said, Betts makes an excellent throw to keep it at runners at first and second. And that brings up Manny Machado with no outs, runners on first and second. And Machado, he falls behind the count 2-0. And then he misses with 2 arm side fastballs. Then he fouls off a heater to make it 2-1. And the next pitch, Manny Machado doubles down the line and left, scoring Kim to tie things up at 2. Curveball that didn't have that sharp break or depth, and Manny Machado put a good swing on it, goes down the left field line for a double. And that's an example of the Padres. They were coming through in the clutch. They were getting the big base hits with runners on base. That's been the difference in this series. Next game is ours from VSVP. By the way, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. I know the Dodgers didn't win tonight, but this is your show. I'm just hosting it, here to get all your takes, so be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. But here we go. Mookie needs to wake up. The offense starts with him. He has to set the table. You can't leave guys on third base with no outs twice. That's why we lost D-Mac. That's from Moose 1032. Big agree. We got D-Mac is panicking. I'm not panicking at all, man. To me, it's like, man, I always root for compelling storylines. I root for team hashtag content, and if this series goes 5 games, that could be pretty interesting, and it make for some good baseball. And look, the reality is it's going to be a dogfight at this point in the series. You're going to have a raucous crowd. The Dodgers have been going pretty hard. Dodger fans have been going pretty hard, buying tickets on the aftermarket, trying to fill that stadium down there at Dodger Stadium South. But now you're in a position where at least you have the advantage of you don't have to travel back east. You don't have to travel all the way to New York to face the Mets. You go right down to San Diego, same time zone. So we need to lose to get some fire in our blood. Dodgers everything. Yeah, I like that take. It's a fire take. You want some fire? That double play threw them over. For sure, Mookie is MIA from Boomer Assassin. Thompson out, Vargas in. That's from Jimmy Denson. I got the Padres in 5. That's from Mac. Look like Mookie got cheated or something. Dave Roberts has some infatuation with Kershaw. This smells like 2019 or 2022. I don't think Kershaw was misused at all in tonight's game, and he ends up being the number 2 starter, and I think that's absolutely the right choice. Who would you have started in Game 2? Would you have started someone else? Tyler Anderson, Tony Gonsolin? No way. I mean, especially when you look at how well Kershaw has been pitching of late, that's an easy decision. But getting back to that inning, Manny Machado, he ties it up at 2. Then with no outs, runners on second and third, and Brandon Drury at the plate, he gets him swinging for the first out of the inning. So 1 out, gets him with that slider, and and then we got only 1 loss. We got 50% of Dodgers and 50% Padres win this series. Yeah, down below, just what's your gut tell you right now? You think the Dodgers end up winning this series? Do you think they come back? Do you think it's tied right now, but do you think they end up winning the next 2? Do you think it's Dodgers in 5? Give me your series predictions now. They were all tied at 1. We got 5150 Rams fan. Dodgers will win this series. Bank on that. 5150 Rams fan, man. I like your vibes these days, man. You're usually very Dodgers doom and gloom. But yeah, he strikes out Drury, and then next batter, he gets ahead to Cronenworth 0-2, and then he misses with a slider twice. Then he fouls off a 4-seam fastball. Then he misses with that slider. And then on the 7th pitch, another slider. Cronenworth grounds it to first. And another run scores. That scored Soto to make it 3-2 Padres. And then he gets Myers to line to right. So he gets out of that inning. And then bottom of the 3rd inning, another home run for Trey Turner. Trey Turner hits another bomb, his second of the postseason. That tied things up at 3. So if you want to look at something to feel good about, definitely feel good about the fact that Trey Turner already has 1 more extra base hit during this postseason in 2 games than he did all of last season in 3 series, wild card series, the NLDS and the NLCS. So Trey Turner is off to a good start, especially in the power department. And that wasn't a gimme either. I mean, he absolutely hit a tank. So Trey Turner, he tied things up. And then top of the 4th inning, Kersh started to settle down. I mean, he goes 1-2-3 inning for Kersh. He got Profar swing at a curveball in the dirt. Ugly swing, by the way. Profar should just absolutely announces retirement after that swing he put on that curveball in the dirt. We got Dodgers in 4 from M. Santos over on YouTube. LA in 5 from James Madden. Dodgers in 4, Ryan Montez. We got Fox. Dodgers in 5. Mike, next game is a must-win, 51-50. I'm a negative fan and still know the Dodgers win this. I appreciate and respect that. Luis Gratterall isn't sure on the mound. Yeah, we'll get to him for sure. Why do we keep playing Trace? This man has absolutely 0 hits. Yeah, what did Doc say about Chris Taylor's status? Does anyone know? Was he asked about Chris Taylor in that situation? Did they talk about the fact that Austin Barnes maybe had a better shot against an elevated fastball? I'm guessing either he said that or did he say that Trace Thompson was that Chris Taylor was unhealthy or he didn't feel good about him? Let me know down below. But who wins next game will win it, bro. B. Guzman. I think that's could be a fair assessment. I mean, who knows? I mean, you got to just win one of these next 2. I mean, you got to win one of these next 2 to get it back to Dodger Stadium for a winner-take-all Game 5. Or win if you lose one of these next 2, that's the case. So the Dodgers, ideally, you take the next 2 in San Diego, you end the series there. But, of course, you got to win one of these next 2 just to give yourself a chance at home in Game 5 where you have the pitching advantage. Will they go with the Clevenger again who got rocked in Game 1? Will you go with the Yu Darvish on short rest who's never done that? Will you throw out a Sean Manaea who's been terrible? Will you have some bullpen-style game? I guess they could do that, but this is their World Series, okay? This is the Padres World Series. If they win this series, it's a successful season. The Dodgers lose this series, it's a catastrophic disaster. Like I said, the Dodgers will either be the chumps or the champs, and it's up to them to decide what they want to do. But again, Kershaw would have been great with Barnes. I mean, I was making that case as well. But here we go. Jumping to the bottom of the 4th inning, like we talked about, another opportunity. Muncy fly to center for the first out. JT draws that 4-pitch walk. Lux singled to right to set the Dodgers up with runners on first and second, 1 out. Trace Thompson struck out swinging. Bellinger struck out swinging. So the bottom of the order there with Thompson and Cody Bellinger not producing enough. But the negativity is just my coping mechanism. I'm with you, my man. I'm totally with you, man. For me, it's laughter is healing, man. There's nothing that's off limits when it comes to jokes. But Daniel, Game 3 is a very big game. Dodgers in 5. What do you think is the biggest key for the Dodgers to turn it around? Let me know down below. Let's keep jumping back into this comment section. Dodgers in 5, unfortunately. Matt Riggs. Dodgers must win against Snell. That's Mookie as a Dodger over on YouTube. We need a new manager with a strategy, strength, and fortune in the playoffs. That's from Careless Whisperer. Dodgers must beat Snell. Dodgers in 4. We got Matt Quinn. Dodgers fans are pathetic. Just admit you're in trouble. Matt Quinn. Mr. Class, we got when Mookie goes, the Dodgers goes from Diane Schroeder. I'm pissed. That's from Swell Sausage. Swell Sausage says Choketober. We got get Belly out of this lineup. Hey, Belly had a hit tonight, man. I mean, we got 619 from the Melt Gun SRT4. Do you see me? What the hell? Dodgers will win the next 2, won by a blowout. It's from Alex Renteria. Yeah, it's been a very tight series. Lots of drama, lots of tension, lots of stress, and will a team blow one wide open? That's a interesting question because Tony Gonsolin, if he's starting for Game 3, which you guys have just told me down below, and I can confirm that yes, it is going to be interesting to see how he pitches because in his last start, he went just 2 innings, and they're not going to ask for much from Tony Gonsolin. 3 innings or 4 innings if he's efficient. He's not stretched out to go beyond that. But to getting off to a good start when you consider that his ERA is just under 10 in the postseason with 6 dingers, that's going to be key to have him go out there and have success. But BB equals bench bats. Did we think we would sweep? Game 3 is a must-win. Not stranding runners. Gonsolin starting Friday. Roger Gonzalez. Bellinger needs to step up. Why take out the goose? He was good luck. He was a good luck goose. I like that. I hate my wife. Okay. Give our pitchers run support. Mr. Classic, I've never been on my knees pleading, but I am. This is serious. You have the best team every year, Dave. Bandwagon Padres fan. So, yeah, bottom of the 4th, when we talk about that one. The top of the 5th, another 1-2-3 inning for Clayton Kershaw. So, he gets Kim to ground to third for the first out. He gets Soto to line to second for the second out. And then Machado, he grounds to first for the third out. So, after after the issues with the slider, just a lot of hits against Clayton Kershaw today, just not the same filth and precision that we've seen. Just did not have that sharp break to that slider that we've been accustomed to seeing all season long, especially after he returned from the injury. But he allows 3 runs on 6 hits, had 6 punch-outs, no walks, 80 pitches, 55 for strikes, gave up the home run to Machado, but he did settle down. He ends up retiring the final 9 hitters that he faced tonight. And then we jump to the top of the 6th. Drury leadoff single to center, first pitch single for the first out. Then Cronenworth, he grounded into a fielder's choice at first. They get the lead runner, and then Myers, he grounds into a fielder's choice and Trey Turner commits the error. So he was saved after that error by Trey Turner. Let me drink some water here. And it was just not a good play by Trey Turner. I mean, when you consider how slow that ball was hit, he wasn't going to be able to turn that double play anyway, and you just can't give outs away. You can't give outs away in a critical moment, in a critical series in the NLDS against the Padres. So he gives that out away, and he just takes his eye off it, and not only was it an error, you don't get the lead man there. So next man up, Profar, he singles to right, scoring Cronenworth to give the Padres a 4-3 lead, 95-mile-per-hour cutter, didn't have great bite to it either, and that is the issue with Brusdar Graterol. A lot of people get caught up in that triple-digit heat, but hitters get the bat on the ball. If you watch the preview show, that's exactly what I said. When you put the bat on the ball, bad things are going to happen at some point. Defensively, you could have an error. You're going to put yourself in a position where sometimes it's going to find grass. But no way Dave's job's on the line. D-Mac, why are you being to us? We look to you for hope. Jesus, I give you hope. This team, there's definitely a universe where the Dodgers can win the next 2 games. If you watch this team all year, you know that they could win the next 2 games, or they could split the next 2 games and take it to 5 games. This team has the talent and depth to beat the Padres in this series, but they're going to have to step up. Tonight was a wake-up call. This team hasn't played meaningful baseball really for months because they've had this division locked up. They've had this league locked up when you consider home field advantage throughout, but this Dodger team, they need to step up, and tonight you just look at their inability to come through in the clutch, and that's exactly why they lost. Even with Clayton Kershaw allowing 3 runs in 5 innings, that still gives a team like the Dodgers, with their potent offense at home where they've had so much success, averaging over 5 runs a game, leading the league in OPS, the top team with runners in scoring position, you have to manufacture more runs with the amount of opportunities that they had tonight. But here we go. We got bottom of the 6th inning. Here's another example. Bottom of the 6th inning, Will Smith reaches on that infield single. Muncy doubles to left. We talked about this one. He knocks out Darvish, and then Will Smith goes to third. Then JT at the plate, runners on the corners, no outs. 0-2 pitch should have been strike 3. Then JT ends up getting the call. They don't punch him out. Then the next pitch, he strikes out on a 100-mile-per-hour fastball down the middle that he just had trouble catching up with. And then Luxy grounds into that double play. We talked about this already. Didn't like the approach there. Top of the 7th inning, give Yency Almonte credit. He comes in and strikes out the side. He punches out Kim swinging, gets Soto with a nasty sinker away, strikes out Machado with the slider away. So it was nice to see Yency Almonte. If you're looking for things to be positive about, Yency Almonte coming in there, first postseason experience after the year he's had, he was absolutely dealing. FS1 coverage is terrible from Diane Schroeder. Trey's defense is questionable. Yeah, Steven, are you guys concerned about Trey Turner's defense? And does that play into your decision to possibly not want him to re-sign with the Dodgers, or the Dodgers not to want to pay him big money? Is it something where you consider how dynamic he is offensively? You saw tonight his ability to hit for power. Last night, 2 extra base hits. But his defense was definitely concerning. And tonight, like I said, we broke down his defensive miscue that led to a run there in the top of the 6th inning. But later, they're lucky he didn't get burned by his other defensive blunder. But they need to win 4 games, Robbie Peterson. This is not the team we watched all season. That's from Robert Benner. We beat ourselves. That's from Dodgers Everything. We got your speaking facts from Stanley. Thanks, Stanley. We got Yup. Not very happy with Andrew. Only regular season Friedman. Wow. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this series plays out. I think it's a little too early for... It's too early to write the epitaph on this Dodgers team, so there's still a lot of games to play. Remember, the series is tied. They got their game. They stole game 2 at Dodger Stadium. This was a game they had to win. This was a must-win for the Padres because we know if the Dodgers win tonight and the Padres lose, Dodgers aren't going to lose 3 straight games. So the only chance the Padres had to beat the Dodgers, to beat Big Brother, really it is a more of a father-son relationship than a big brother-little brother relationship, but the only chance they had was winning tonight, and they did just that. But Mookie Betts playing like Dookie Wet. What the heck? Jay Bullitt. Is Trey making a case for the Dodgers to throw money at him? That's from Noah. SD's bullpen, Game 5. Remember that. SD's bullpen. That's what I said a couple seconds ago. I mean, I think there's no way they would throw Clevenger out there. I mean, just when you see how rocky he's been, he's a below-average big league pitcher, and he struggles on the road. So I could definitely see that. And they're going to do whatever they can. I think you could see multiple guys coming on short rest. Who knows? The Padres, they're willing to do anything they can to win this series, as should the Dodgers, to be quite frank. But we will be watching the Flintstones reruns next week. Carl's
Fire team.
That's pretty funny. But I don't think so. Because we could still watch them and the Dodgers because the Flintstones are fire. But we got Will D-Mac Smith, bases loaded at the bat, was a letdown. The momentum swing was there, and the stadium was ready to explode. Yeah, so jump to the bottom of the 7th inning. So Trace Thompson, he flied to right for the first out. Jose Rod, here we go. We got he had 1 less error than Seager this year. That's from Jose Rod 05. Yeah, we also look at the range and things like that. But make no mistake about it, I've been saying for a while now that Trey Turner's defense has been disappointing based on what we were expecting. Throw money at Judge instead of Trey. That's from Noah Martinez. I think the Dodgers could throw a lot of money at Aaron Judge, but if the Yankees want him and they want to pay him, he's going to end up in New York. And it's a situation, what if the Dodgers offer him the same amount and the Yankees offer him the same amount? Aaron Judge gets to decide who he signs with. But not too much buzz right now about the Dodgers and Aaron Judge. But we got Dodgers need to become a fierce unit. They need to want it. Well, at least I get to watch a new episode of Andor, Little Brother. We got the FS1 commentary. It's completely biased. But, jump back in that bottom of the 7th. Trace Thompson, he flies to right for the first out. And then Cody Bellinger, he gets a 1-out single. So for all the criticism about the bottom of the order and Cody Bellinger, Belly did a nice job. Wasn't trying to do too much. He pokes a single there to left. And then Mookie Betts, he doubles to center, and that's a play that Trent Grisham, a Gold Glove winning center fielder, he went for it. But here's the big play in that sequence there. The big play in that sequence there was Profar did a fantastic job of backing up Trent Grisham. He backed him up. It prevented Belly from scoring, prevented a run possibly. So in that situation, that rolls to the wall. The Dodgers are going to be getting themselves another run right there, and they tie things up. So with runners on second and third, Trey Turner grounds to third, and both runners hold. So that's another situation where you just hated that at bat there. Bottom of the 7th inning, a 1-0 pitch, Trey Turner grounds to third. And that's what I've been talking about and what I've been stressing is just bad at-bat quality in clutch situations. In that situation, you want to take a pitch. You want to work the count. You want to put some stress on that pitcher. Maybe he throws a wild pitch like Clayton Kershaw did earlier in the game and the runners advance. But no, the Dodgers being a little overly aggressive, which isn't their style. They're a team that they don't expand the strike zone. They do work counts and they do make you make pitches, but in that situation, a little overzealous there by Trey Turner. He ends up swinging at that, and they're unable to get a run across. You saw Manny Machado do that little fake out there to Cody Bellinger, and they don't get a run, so that goes for the second out. So the Dodgers have another opportunity there after they intentionally walked Freddie Freeman to get to Will Smith. So the Dodgers, bases loaded, Will Smith at the plate after the intentional walk to Freddie Freeman, 2 outs, and you got Will Smith, a 2-2 count. And if you look at that at-bat, Will Smith, he swung at ball 3, that he swung at a pitch that he ends up fouling off that would have been ball 3. It was a couple inches up out of the zone. That makes it a 2-2 count, and he was unable to come through. So, yeah, I mean, that situation is just frustrating. It was definitely frustrating to see the Dodgers in those big spots tonight again and again and again and again, but they just weren't able to get that big hit. And sometimes it happens in baseball, but it definitely felt like they were pressing a little bit tonight. And then Will Smith, I mean, he gave it a pretty good ride. I mean, it was a changeup, low in the zone. He ends up lining to center there, and that was all she wrote. So the Dodgers, runners on second and third, with 1 out, unable to capitalize and cash in. And then you have bases loaded, 2 outs, and you're unable to get a run across to tie things up. But here we go. We got we got this from JR. We got need to be better on the D and the base pass. Go see the Padres. The Padres will lose. We got Trey is not clutch. That's from Bob Bowie. Justin Turner's strikeout was just as bad. Yeah, we discussed that at length already, and really should have struck out on the previous pitch, and he definitely looked like he was a little overpowered there, overmatched against that 101 mile per hour heater by Suarez. But MLB wants a Game 5, a competitive series is the narrative. That's from Noah Martinez. I don't see that because the Dodgers were getting calls tonight. I mean, look at the Yu Darvish 69 mile per hour pitch that wasn't called for a strike that Max Muncy ultimately homered during that at bat. Then later in the game, the Justin Turner pitch that wasn't called a strike 3. I didn't think that the umpiring cost the Dodgers the game. The Dodgers cost the Dodgers the game. They beat themselves. But Justin, you shouldn't be losing games where you out homer your opponent. Yeah, that's definitely an anomaly there. Typically, when you out-homer your opponent, you're going to put yourself in a position to win. Last season, teams went 25-2 when they out-homered their opponent in the postseason. When you outslug your opponent, you give yourself a great chance to win statistically. In the Dodgers, you got to feel good about 3 home runs. But like we pointed out earlier, the Dodgers haven't scored a run past the 3rd inning in Games 1 or Games 2. So they have to find a way to manufacture runs in the middle innings, late in games. They just haven't gotten it done so far. But, so jumping to the top of the 8th inning, it was very interesting. If you saw Cronenworth, he gets called back, talks to one of the coaches, and it's almost like they're discussing something about Blake Trinan. And Blake Trinan, he ends up hitting a tank. Hits that home run off of Blake Trinan, and that made it 5-3 Padres. And, yeah, he hit an absolute bomb. And, yeah, I think Blake Trinan in that inning, yeah, you just kind of wonder about the impact that he could possibly have on this team. And I think that there's a chance that we could be looking back and saying, hey, maybe Blake Trinan should possibly have underwent surgery and put himself in a better position to come back. But he did end up striking out Myers with a slider. He ends up walking profar. Didn't have great command there on that fastball. He was missing with the sinker. So he definitely was erratic there. And then they intensely walked Grisham, and he gets Nola to ground into that fielder's choice to short, and then he gets Kim to pop to first. So a little rocky there, but yeah, like I said, the issue I had with Blake Trinan was the fact that he hadn't pitched in any meaningful games this season. But a small ball DMAC. Do you think the Dodgers should play more small ball? Let me know down below. But Neil, Will Smith had 2 chances with runners in scoring position. Yeah, this is the thing. This Padres team, on the season, they've been nails in close games. If you look at their record in one-run games, it's like 34-17, 12 walk-offs. And the times that the Dodgers lost to the Padres this season, the majority of them came with 2 runs or less. And yes, some of those were the Craig Kimbrell when he walked in Alfaro, when he got hit in the back with Cronenworth, gave the double to Voit. But still, the Dodgers in close games, that definitely is a concern, and this was a close game that they did not win. But the Kersh pitch is better when it's not October. That's from Adam818. We got Nope, Dodgers suck from Ultra Instinct. Tell me how you really feel. William, I'm ready for better hitting coaches or coaches. Where's Dustin May? I mean, who knows? You might see Dustin May piggybacking off of Tony Gonsolin in the next one. Here we go. So jumping to then top of the 9th inning, Tommy Kahnle. I mean, he to me is the most dangerous reliever. Him and Evan Phillips. He's an absolute baller out there. Tommy Kahnle, he goes out there. He struck out Soto. He struck out Machado, and he struck out Drury. And that changeup was just filthy, bottom of the zone. He's nasty. He's disgusting. And yeah, I think he pretty much threw all changeups. He threw 2 4-seam fastballs, and the rest were changeups on 10 pitches. So, yeah, he looks fantastic. Tommy Kahnle is going to be a dude. He's going to be a guy that they're going to rely upon late in games. And then bottom of the 9th inning, Mookie Betts, he takes a strike looking. And then second pitch, a sinker inner half, a weak pop-up. And that's just another bad at-bat by your franchise player. And Mookie Betts, you need to step up. You need to have a much better game. Yes, you got the double, but we need to see more from Mookie Betts. And we'll take we'll take last night. Freddie Freeman, the at-bats weren't as great. He looked like he was pressing a little bit at times. Tonight, he hits a home run. He gets a double. So you can snap out of it. Mookie Betts, though, the at-bats just haven't been good. And then after that, Trey Turner, he goes down swinging. He was up 2-1 in the count, and then he misses on 2 straight sinkers up in the zone. The last one, man, I mean, that was a sinker, middle. He just missed it. And then Freddie Freeman, he gets down in the count, 0-2. Then on the third pitch, 99-mile-per-hour fastball up in the zone. Freddie Freeman just laced it. Great piece of hitting there by Freddie Freeman Fredericks of Hollywood. And then another opportunity that put the tying run at the plate in Will Smith. And Will Smith, hitters count up 3-1, and he fouls off that. Yeah, Will Smith is missing some pitches that we've seen. Tonight he missed some pitches. Last night he was phenomenal, but tonight he definitely missed some pitches that we've seen him crush. I mean, fastball, inner half. He does have those reverse splits, but he fouls that one off, and then he flies out to end the game on a pitch that really was middle. And yeah, he just kind of hit it, didn't get it on the sweet spot there. So Dodgers lose, kind of broke it all down, and we told you why. Pitching, just not. Clayton Kershaw, rocky outing, gutted his way through 5 innings. I don't think he was the reason why they lost. You consider the fact that Yu Darvish also gave up some runs. It was neck and neck. Brusdar Graterol, if you've been watching my show for months now, I've told you before, and I'll tell you again, when you're a pitch-to-contact bullpen piece, you're going to get yourself into trouble at times. And it was a phenomenal catch, by the way, by Cody Bellinger earlier in this game. He's a guy that can impact the game with his defense, and he made a great catch, a great route, or not the greatest route, but the range was great. But, Brusdar Graterol misses some spots. They're getting the bat on the ball when he was in the game. And then later in the game, Blake Trinan, was that the best spot for Blake Trinan when you consider the fact that he had missed so much time? I mean, yeah, they wanted to, they told themselves that he is ready for these high leverage situations. So clearly it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Blake Trinan, because he gave that tank, and hopefully the velocity was okay. The movement was solid in certain stretches. But, yeah, the reality is the bullpen for the Padres outpitched the Dodgers bullpen once again. Or tonight they did. Last night Dodgers were phenomenal. But Dodgers 0 for 17 against that bullpen. Tonight they weren't able to manufacture a hit. The reality is the Dodgers offense, hasn't come through in the clutch. They have not gotten that big hit despite multiple opportunities that we broke down tonight again and again in consecutive innings, and then also their inability to get to this Padres bullpen. And we saw their high leverage guys tonight in Suarez, and they just weren't able to get to it. Mookie Betts goes 1 for 4. Trey goes 1 for 5 with the bomb. Freddie goes 2 for 4 with the home run. Will Smith, he goes 1 for 5. Was able to get that one single, too. So Will Smith hit the ball hard, was able to get that single. He left 4 men on base today. Max Muncy, a 2-hit game, goes 2 for 4. JT goes 1 for 3. Lux goes 2 for 4. Trace Thompson goes hitless. So Trace Thompson, the only Dodger that didn't get a hit. And then the big decision to pinch hit for Cody Bellinger in the situation with Austin Barnes. So, yeah, I mean, that's the one we'll never know with Austin Barnes and in that situation where the Dodgers elect to go for the pinch hit there. But it was an interesting choice. And bottom of the 8th inning, you go with Austin Barnes against Hader. Hader comes in to go for that 4-out save. And who are your options there? Miguel Vargas versus a lefty, a guy that has never taken a postseason at bat. Yeah, I see the logic of going with an Austin Barnes, a guy who, let's not forget, he was the hero against Blake Snell and the Tampa Bay Rays in Game 6 of the 2020 World Series. He's a guy that's got some big hits, and he's just really improved as a hitter in general. But it did appear early in that count that he didn't have the best chance to get a hit there. And Cody Bellinger, you just never know. I mean, would any of us be absolutely shocked if Cody Bellinger went up there against Josh Hader in a big moment in October with Code Tober in the mix, that he would come through and possibly get a big hit? I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible. But, I mean, this team, they're going to play the numbers game. They're always going to want to go with those platoon splits. And yes, even though Cody Bellinger does have a home run in his career against Josh Hader this season hitting .213 against lefties with a .583 OPS, 2 home runs. I mean, if you compare that split to him versus righties, a 684 OPS, hitting 209, of course, a lot more opportunities. So, yeah, I just didn't love that move for Austin Barnes, and I really want to know what the status is of Chris Taylor. But, yep, guys, I hope you're feeling a little better about this one, knowing just exactly how the Dodgers lost this one and what's ahead of them. Because, yeah, I mean, what you're going to look for in the next game is I think you're going to see more patience from these Dodgers hitters. I think you're going to see them take some more pitches, and I don't think you're going to see them as aggressive in certain spots when you have runners on base in key situations. I think the Gavin Lux double play in the 6th, Trey Turner, second pitch swinging there in the 7th. So, yeah, Dodgers need to capitalize on these base runners. But the good news is they have created base runners. They have gotten guys on base. They just haven't been able to cash in and get those runs. So I still feel confident about the Dodgers in this series. Hopefully there's lots of Dodger blue in the stands at Dodger Stadium South. What do you guys think the percentage breakdown is going to be of Dodger fans to Padres fans on Friday? But here we go. I agree Barnes should have caught for Kershaw. All you can eat barbecue. Yeah, I mean, that was, if you watched the show a couple days ago, I'm saying, look, I mean, it's the trade-off, right? I mean, the fact is, one, you have the DH. So if you want Will Smith in the lineup, you can still have him in the lineup through some iteration. Then two, do you weigh the fact that, hey, do we give Kershaw the best chance to succeed with Austin Barnes behind the plate? But I still think that Kershaw probably went to them. They had a conversation. They discussed it. And he probably thought, hey, with Will Smith in the lineup, I have a better chance to get more run support. So it's just a trade-off there. And, yeah, I think that Kershaw, he probably has already said that he didn't have his best stuff. I'm absolutely assuming. But I think it was a win for the Dodgers, the fact they still were able to get 5 innings out of him and 3 runs, considering how his stuff looked at times and the fact he didn't have that slider like we've been accustomed to seeing it. But it's already sold out. Tried getting tickets from Oscar. We got not just 2 bad games with Mookie. He looked bad in the last 6 against Colorado's from Diane Schroeder. We got 51-50 Rams. We win Game 3 and win Game 5. Urias versus Clev Mania bullpen. This was never as sweet. We're fine. Padres play worse at home. We got to Dodger Stadium South. Dodger Stadium South, we come. Get your popcorn ready. That's from Robert over on YouTube. 75% Dodgers fans, 35% PED Drays. That breakdown's pretty interesting there. 15% Dodger fans. It'll be a true road game. Interesting. I think we'll see a good amount of Dodger fans. There's no question about it. They're going to be hopefully traveling there. Hopefully you'll see Dodgers fans in droves down in San Diego. But Doug, if it weren't for the shift, Kirsch would have been rocked. There was a lot of hits. I mean, there was a lot of hits. There was a lot of hard contact against Kersh tonight, and yeah, I mean, but also you saw a lot of ground balls that were finding the hole. I mean, the double down the line and left by Manny Machado there. Yeah, it just wasn't Kershaw's best night, but I don't think that it was a complete. It wasn't a. It's not like he got chased after 2 innings or something like that and gave up like 6 home runs or anything to that extent. I think when you consider some of the jams that he was in and how he was able to get out of them, it just could have been worse. It looked like it was going to get ugly. And then the fact he retired the last 9 batters he faced, he had a 1-2-3 4th and a 1-2-3 5th, and then top of the 3rd inning, after he allowed that double to Machado and Cronenworth grounded to first to get that 3rd run of the night for the Padres to get Myers to line out. So, yeah, definitely the 2nd inning, too, getting out of that jam, allowing those 2 hits. So, yeah, I think it wasn't the best night for Clayton Kershaw. They're going to need more from him and more from Julio moving forward. You're going to need more length because you can't rely on this bullpen to give you 4 shutdown innings each and every single game for multiple series all the way up until the World Series. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this team responds. I have confidence in this team, and I definitely think this is a team that has it in them. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers won the next 2. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw them split and we're looking at a winner-take-all Game 5. I think it's been entertaining baseball. I think it's been a lot of drama-filled baseball. So get ready, buckle up, take tomorrow, watch the rest of the games, kind of recalibrate. But, yeah, guys, thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers lose Game 2 to the Padres by a final score of 5-3. Dodgers back in action on Friday. You got Blake Snell versus Tony Gonsolin in a game where it's whoever wins that game is going to be in the driver's seat to win this series. But a couple more comments here, and we will be done for tonight. And hopefully you guys, we got some clarity at the very least, because I know you're frustrated. Anytime your Dodgers lose in the postseason, it's very painful. And trust me, these players, they want to win. These managers, this organization wants to win. We all want the Dodgers to succeed. But we'll make it through this. This is what this organization does. It's part of the process with the Dodgers. Like Vin Scully said, it's never easy for the Dodgers. But Snell, Zilla, Matthew, does anybody else here hate the Padres more than the Giants? Recharge Dodgers Nation. We got to support the team on Friday. Thanks, D-Mac. Catman got this. Have faith. That's from Quack. MLB trying to make Pods the face of the league, and that's even without Fernando Tatis Jr. Hey, D-Mac, you're sounding and looking like you have having a bad gut feeling about this series, or I'm just reading you wrong. That's from Michael Tracy. I don't have a bad gut feeling about this series. If you watch my preview show, I said, you know what, I'll try to manifest the sweep, but my brain says it'll be a 5-game series because this Padres team has a lot of talent, and they have a lot of familiarity with this Dodgers team, and this is their World Series. And also, I respect Bob Melvin as a manager. This is an adult in the room now down in San Diego. It isn't Jace Tingler down in San Diego. So this team does have a lot of talent, and they're also a team that they have some bullpen pieces, and they have some good starters. So it doesn't surprise me that they won tonight. The Dodgers, if everything went right, the Dodgers definitely could have won tonight, and they could have swept this series. But it's not like they're playing a team that's devoid of talent. You have Juan Soto, you have Manny Machado, an MVP caliber player on that team. You have Yu Darvish, who when he's on, he's one of the best pitchers when it comes to pure raw stuff in the league. So my gut feeling tells me that this is going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a back alley brawl between the Dodgers and the Padres, a team that has looked up to this Dodgers organization for years, and they want nothing more than to beat the 111-win Dodgers team. So I don't have a bad gut feeling about it, but it's definitely a wake-up call for this Dodgers offense, because if they just execute, you get a few more base hits tonight, they still win, having not played their best baseball. So the Dodgers have not played their best baseball yet this series, but this offense needs to wake up. They need to produce. And I think, too, a lot of nervous tension, a lot of nervous energy at Dodger Stadium. When the Dodgers trail, you can hear a pin drop. I mean, there's libraries that are louder than Dodger Stadium when they're trailing in big games. So I think the fact they're going to go on the road, you also see Dodger fans, but also I think that us against the world, that road mentality that this Dodgers team will have, I think that they're going to be just fine. But how about you guys look at some final takes, and I'll let you guys BS guys choking. Tatis is Mike Tyson. We got Dustin can give us good 2 or 3 innings. Padres want the 111-win Dodgers so bad. Yep. Where is it? It's in San Diego. D-Mac, we know you and the rest of the Fantastic Four are going to crush in Game 3. That's from Negative. Appreciate you, my man. D-Mac, Dodgers need to enter the tank, play their best. Alex Renteria, DM post-game show versus everybody. I'm pretty sure D-Mac meant this is San Diego's World Series. Yeah, exactly. Us against the world. LMAO. Yeah, I mean, that's what galvanized teams. I mean, winning road baseball is definitely something that really brings teams together. I mean, we saw so many big games that this Dodgers team was able to win throughout the years, whether it be in Milwaukee or in Chicago or even in Houston, even though they had to win one to get back here. So this team can win the road, but rate tonight's game out of 10. As far as the entertainment factor, it was an entertaining game. You had offense on both sides. You had a lot of tension. As far as a watchability goes, I'll probably give this game an 8. An 8. I think it's solid 8. I mean, a 10, you want a great game plus a walk-off. You want some late inning heroics. But, yeah, I'll give it an 8. D-Mac, how are you against lefties? But, all right, guys. But, yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for rocking with us. We went a little over. We had a lot to get into on this one. By the way, if you haven't yet, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at DMAC_LA. I'm going to be posting a lot of content next few days, breaking this all down and talking about things the Dodgers need to do to improve their chances of getting to some of these San Diego pitchers. But thanks for rocking with us as always, guys. And as always, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And if you haven't yet, tell some of your friends who are Dodgers Nation fans to subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be with you guys all postseason long. I be stroking. Thanks for rocking with us. See you guys next time. Remember, nothing brings us together like Dodgers baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.